Hey, Terri Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, owner of PutYourselfFirst.com. Thanks for joining me on this episode of A Decade for Change. And wow, today I'm going to talk about the funeral with my wife Terri, who died in a car crash about 10 years ago, December 9th, 2003. And throughout that week, we wanted to put together a very, not the typical traditional funeral. Terri and I were anything but typical and traditional. I mean, we had our wedding out at a farm. It was really, they had a wedding chapel type thing there though. But we had our dogs in the wedding, and we had a petting zoo right there for people to go into. We had piñata and all these different things. Made like wind chimes for our wedding party. So that was the wedding stuff, and many other atypical things. So when it came to planning and arranging a funeral, and it's not like the two of us sat down and said, here's the way I want it laid out. But we did have discussions about what ifs, scenarios. Well, when I die, I'd like to see this, and that's kind of it. And I think at one point Terri had brought home, where you could buy, your do-it-yourself kits, on a CD, write yourself a will type of thing. But it wasn't an official will. It wasn't signed by anybody or anything like that. Just kind of a printout. And I hadn't seen that in a while, a long while, probably 10 years. I think she even wrote that before we even got married. So, when it came time to plan her funeral, all I wanted to do is I just wanted to make it special. I did not want to make it a really super grieving type of celebration of life. While these things are sad, the typical funeral that's out there, and those are fine. Yeah, I've been to many, but it's just it just wasn't us. So it was challenging trying to go down, and one of the cool things is I went down to the funeral home where she was at and sat down, and the guys there were just so awesome. They were like, however you want to do it. I swear, if I wanted to go out and have fireworks shoot off and all these things, they would set it up. I mean, it was really, really incredible. This city just stepped up to make anything happen. And so when it came to even picking out Terri's casket, she was like a woodworker type of person. Another part of her life that many of you never knew. She adopted a lot of skills from her dad, building things, hands-on things. She'd build things with for bird cages and stuff, and she'd build cabinets and you name it. So when it came to picking that out, there's a lot of high Zooks caskets out there. This lady, she was one that which model looked like the most, the one that she would have built, So I mean, it was a pine one. Just looked like it was put together and ready for staining. It wasn't the most elaborate one out there, but it was Terri. So when it comes to the celebration of life, what we put together was a neat thing. We made it very relaxing. We had 2 days because I knew people were traveling in. So one of the days was more of the wake type of thing, the visitation, and Terri wanted to be cremated. So she had a really cool urn there. It was actually wooden, but it looked like she'd put it together herself, and laser cut on the outside of it was a German Shepherd, and it was a really, really cool little etching that was on there, a nice wooden pine one. And people came up and shared their respects, their stories, and just talked. And we did it while we were sitting there having a glass of wine, and just kind of really made it low key, pressure off, kind of a because it was those are stressful times, and you don't want you want to make it easy for people to talk. And so what we did was we took a lot of our pet photos, a lot of family photos, a lot of vacationing type of things. Well, not so much vacationing, but a lot of our family event type of things. And her life was all throughout the room, almost like a museum. So it was really, really kind of a cool thing. We had a wonderful video playing with different things there. So that was really, really cool. And then the very next day, on a Saturday, we had rented a facility to do more of a big presentation. And so it was a really, really cool celebration of life where we had a really awesome a person that kind of facilitated all of it. One person came up and talked about her rescue life. Another lady, it was a lot of storytelling. And her work life and just different pockets of her her life where it was and what it meant. But the people that presented just did such an amazing job, just being able to share all these different things. And I think for a lot of people that were sitting there, they maybe have only saw one sliver, like the animal rescue stuff, a bunch of people there, but they had no idea what she had accomplished in her work life or in her family life. And we didn't have Facebook then, so we weren't keeping people up to date on different things. So it was really, really a cool thing. I had spent the whole week making this off the charts video, got a lot of input from people on quotes, and kind of just gave a nice, just wonderful photo history of what she was all involved in with all of the different areas of her life. And it was really, really well done. I think within this post, I'll post a link to that video just so you could show it and enjoy it. It's probably a small little postage stamp of a video now, not the big high def stuff. But it was really, really powerful to see that and very, very moving. And I was able to muster the, I think probably because I was numb, just the ability to get up and share some words and thoughts with people as well. But it was really an awesome celebration for her. And a lot of the rescue people showed up and they brought stuffed animals. And I think those stuffed animals then went to donating to her sister. Her sister worked at a hospital, in the children's hospital in central Wisconsin. And so those toys, it basically became Terri's toys for a few years of collections and donations to give to children in the hospital that, either for birthdays or Christmas. I'm drawing a blank here. I'm going off the top of my head. 10 years, people. But really, so my point here is, I think, I think for a lot of people, and at least for me, it really helped getting through a very, very difficult time by celebrating all of the amazing things that this person did. And so if you've lost somebody, and whether it was unexpected or coming along, or eventually through natural means or whatever, to go through and celebrate those things. And I was recently at a funeral, and everybody, they passed around a microphone and people could get up and share stories. And I just thought, that was kind of cool because it's that one person's life, but not everybody knows the story. And, that's some powerful things. It helps people grieve and go through that process and smile and laugh and tear up, etc. So anyway, I just, I just loved that we did that and was able to just honor just such a life well lived, made a lot, she was only 39 and just packed in a lot in that short amount of time. More than many of us would wish to have in a lifetime. So anyway, thanks for listening today, and hope you got a bit out of this. Share and comment below.